In this video, everything you need to know about holidays in Cala Millor. If you haven't booked yet, this is also a great video to see what to expect and if Cala Millor is actually the right holiday destination for you. Also in this video, some easy tips to make your holiday even better, some ways to save you loads of money, and as well some things to watch out for and a few small warnings. Cala Millor has one very big, large sandy beach, ideal for families with kids. White sands and few waves most of the time, with all restaurants and bars right next to it. There's no cars anywhere near here, so this also creates a very safe and quiet atmosphere for a beach holiday. If the beach gets a little bit too busy or you want a more quiet area, you might want to walk over towards the right side of the beach where there is normally less people, and it's also a great place to have a more adventurous beach day or to do some snorkeling. So a lot of people here on my website and also through my YouTube channel, they started asking me for advice about hotels where to go. But from my experience, what you find online ain't really what you find in real life. All these hotels you're seeing now on your screen, by the way, are great value for money hotels, so you can definitely book these. But for other hotels, maybe 1 in 3 ain't really the way, from my experience, ain't really the way it is online. So before I give any advice to people, I always want to make sure that I definitely know that what is there is really there. So that's why I visited all these hotels, about 25 I think in Cala Millor and Cala Bona in total now, maybe 30 even, and about 300 in total in Majorca. If you're not sure which one of these hotels is right for you, or if you want my second opinion on one of the hotels, kind of you've already pre-selected before booking it, you can always get in contact with me through my website, or you can email me directly on this email address. I always try to reply within 24 hours, but quite often while I'm traveling and filming, I cannot. And also recently I've been getting so many requests, it sometimes takes me a little bit longer. This is a completely free service I give to you, so please have a little bit of patience. I will get back to you always. Cala Millor has a pretty nice and active nightlife. There are many late night bars, but also some clubs here. One thing that is very nice here is that normally you can find many live performances all over the resort. One place that does this especially well is the main beach club, the Café del Sol, on the front line right next to the beach. So Cala Millor is actually quite far away from the airport. It's one of the furthest resorts away from the airport in Mallorca. So if you haven't made any arrangements yet for getting to your hotel, then I would very much advise have a look at this other video where I explain all the different options there are, from buses, taxis, shuttles, renting a car, all of these kind of things, and the pros and the cons of all of them in another video of mine. Simply type Cala Millor and then bus, Cala Millor taxi or something like that, and it will show up normally in the first place. Or you can also have a look in the suggested videos, it might be there as well. So first of all, I want to say that Majorca is a really nice place. I don't want to sound too negative. However, I think there is 3 important things I do want to give you a little bit of a warning about, because I've heard from a lot of people and also from my own experience that they had negative experiences with these simply because they didn't know. So in this part, 3 quick warnings. If you find a flyer on the street offering some kind of excursions, or you're handed by someone a flyer in the street, then do not go on these kind of excursions. There's always some kind of unpleasant catch, no matter how good the deal may sound. The most common is that you will have to go to some kind of sales presentation where they will sell you all kinds of random products. This can also be about timeshare, or sometimes you just to wait for a long time at some kind of overpriced restaurant in the middle of nowhere where you will have to spend your money. Second is the illegal sales that are happening on the beaches and in the streets, since from now on you yourself can be fined from 100 to 750 euros in Mallorca for buying items from people selling things illegally, offering massages, hair braiding, selling fruits and drinks on the beach, and much more. This is a new law since July 2018 to combat these things that have been really getting out of hand the last couple of years. Since finding the people doing this so far has proven little success, successful because some of them, they don't have the real residencies in Spain, so it's hard to give them a fine. The government has now decided to target both the people selling and the tourists buying. In the last few years, many laws have been passed to make Mallorca a more upscale and high-class resort, so be sure that these laws will be enforced. Number 3, this is about car rental. Most of the time now when you rent a car or you reserve it online for a certain price, the price will go way up, simply because if you arrive in the airport or you go to the car rental offices, the people there, they will try and kind of like confuse you and tell you you need this and this and this, but it's just kind of like practices to get you to buy more things. I covered this in a different video. Also on my website you can find the companies that I use when I'm traveling, so you can have a good and smooth experience without any of these upselling problems. So I just want to quickly repeat, Majorca is a very nice place. Don't be put off now that you are informed and you know about these things. I'm sure you will have a great holiday in Majorca. So the next one is a little bit of a cheeky tip, however it is a good one. Most of the information out there is meant to sell you a specific hotel or destination. Everything always looks very perfect. If you want real information, real good holiday information that is made with your perfect holiday in mind, then do know that you can subscribe to my channel and you will easily find all the videos I have covering Mallorca. That's about 100 of them, but also hundreds more covering other destinations in Spain and in Europe. So if you want all that information even more easy, click the subscribe button. Cala Millor is a very large resort, and because of this you can really find pretty much everything here you can imagine when it comes to restaurants. Everything from fast food to all-you-can-eat buffets to international food. If you want more traditional Spanish food, you might want to have a look at the harbor area of Cala as well. Most of the restaurants in Cala Millor you will find on the front line or on the main shopping street, but there's also a nice area in between Cala Millor and Cala where you have a great dinner right next to the beach. So should you get the all-inclusive or the half-board? Well, this really depends a lot on what exactly you want. However, one quick tip I want to give you is that most of the receptions in the hotel, you can also book this separate. So why would you want to do this? Well, one thing is, first you can try the food, kind of compared to booking it within your hotel package. If you just book the room and then go to the hotel and then try the food one night, see if it's any good, if you enjoy it, and then go to the reception and just book it there. It's also cheaper. You will get it about 20 or 30% cheaper from my experiences. And also, if you want to go a day on an excursion, you can do that. Just don't take the food for that day. Just say to the reception, I want Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, not Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and they will make you that package there. And also, one more important thing is if you want to eat out, this is also maybe once or twice in a holiday you want to do this in a nice restaurant nearby. It's also only an option if you do it this, and you won't be wasting any money on an all-inclusive package that covers all the days. So when is the right time for you to visit Mallorca? Well, this depends a lot on what exactly you're looking for. A lot of people think that it's warm all year round on Mallorca, and that is not the case. So in this next part, I want to give you a quick guide to when and when not to visit, so you know when to book. And if you've already booked, then this is also a great way to see what exactly to expect. In the months of January, February and March, these months in Mallorca is very popular with athletes who come to Mallorca to do exercise and to train, as there will be very few people on the island around this time, and therefore there's many empty roads for the cyclists to use. Also, the weather around this time is a bit more mild compared to many other European countries, especially Scandinavian countries. It's also for this reason that a lot of retired people come to Mallorca around this time. The accommodation is cheap, the climate is mild, but do know that a lot of hotels, bars and restaurants around this time are still closed. So April is the first month kind of the year that the weather starts to change a little bit and more hotels, bars and restaurants start to open. This depends a lot on what month and week the Easter holidays fall into. Most of the time this is not really beach or pool weather just yet, but prices outside of the Easter holidays are on the cheaper side and might be worth taking a little risk. Make sure always to bring a sweater and some longer clothing, especially for during the evenings. May is normally one of the first real months for Mallorca. Also, it has the better weather starting to come around, and normally all the hotels have opened at this time, especially when you look more towards the middle of May. The same also counts for all the restaurants, bars and excursions start to open at this time of year. June, July and August are the months with the best weather. If you really want the best weather and you want to spend most of the time at the beach or at the pool, then these are the best months for you. Personally, I think normally August kind of gets a little bit too hot for me, but I really think that's a personal thing and most people might disagree with me. If you are looking for the best months, price, quality, weather-wise, then June and September normally are the best. October is very much like May, but a little bit with the added benefit that pool and seawater normally is already a bit warmer by this time. It's already heating up from the summer, but the weather can be unpredictable and in general it starts to cool down. Make sure to bring a sweater and long clothing just in case, especially for in the evenings. In November and December, there is not so many people on Mallorca. It's very much like January, February and March. It's mostly people coming here to train and to do sports, and the retired people coming to look for the more quiet and mild climate. So if you're sure that this destination is right for you, know you can get in contact with me on my email address, and there we can figure out together what is the right hotel for you. If you're not sure, then have a look at this video where I explain all the different resorts in Mallorca and you can choose there.